Now, we're joined by a guest today, the guy that introduced us and hundreds of thousands of other people to beef bacon, lamb bacon, turkey bacon, Josh Muckert from Reride Quality Meats. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, lads. Thanks for having me on.
No worries. Thanks for coming.
Nice to meet you, mate.
Yeah.
But, mate, we'll start off with where it all started with you, the whole butchering scene. Like back in the day, I suppose, from what I can remember, the trade wasn't as popular as to what it is now. So not many people sort of went the butchering direction. They were more so going into the mechanical or diesel fitting or electrical side of things. So where did it all start for you?
Yeah, look, I was just sitting at school, hated school, really did. Said to my oldies, I want to leave school. They said, right, you got to get a job, apprenticeship. You're not allowed to leave unless you get one. I went, yeah, right, cool. At the time, one of our good friends' wives were actually managing the butcher shop. Went and seen her, give us an apprenticeship, please. So done a bit of a trial. Found I was pretty handy with a knife. I was pretty handy. So went from there. Then she sort of had a baby, moved on. New managers come in, sort of trained me up into the aspect of where I am now, sort of, manager's role, slaughtering, everything like that. I pretty much do it from scratch.
There's a lot of going through sort of that process. Is there a lot of through them courses? Is there a lot of tickets and that you got to pick up to be able to slaughter yourself?
Not the on farm like I do myself now, just driving around doing paddocks for people. Leave it on the property, whatnot. To do it in the meatworks, it's pretty much another trade now behind you. You got to do another cert. I think cert 1, 2, and 3 in slaughtering. So I'm thinking about doing that myself. Actually going out to Monto Meats, see old Matty out there if he'll give me a chance.
Yeah.
So does not every butcher do the slaughtering side of it?
Nah.
They just get quarters rock up or
Yeah. Oh, a lot of them don't
or-
even do that anymore. A lot of them turns up in a box, mate. And
True.
yeah. Like a lot of the butchers now, the average Joe could do what they can do nearly. It's not hard. Pull it out of a box if you know how to slice a rump or anything yourself when you worked on a station or something. It's not hard. Like the boning of beef itself is, something different again.
And you've got a lot of apprentices that are working for you at the moment. Is it something that that's sort of gaining a lot of interest in young fellas coming through?
Yeah. They've got to be keen. Like I have had a few that have dropped out, sort of just thought it was going to be okay and then got in there and went, oh, this is crap. I don't want to do this. So they've dropped out. But the 3 I've got on now, they seem keen. Like they're go-getters. They want to, young Travie working for me. He's just turned 3rd year and he's going to get signed off next month. Like he's 2 years into his trade and he's done.
Yeah, right.
So he's a real sort of go-getter sort of kid, wants to learn, just pushes himself that bit harder to
That's
get through
great
it quicker.
because it's hard to find young fellas with that good sort of stock in them these days that want to actually get in and have a crack.
Yep.
And like you said, for them being able to sort of do it the way that you do, not have it all rock up in a box, you find that's better for kids and that are learning the task. It's skill to go on later in life.
Yeah, 100%. Like they're not just sitting there learning the same boring thing day over day out. Like we bust our own pigs, lambs, beef, chickens, turkeys. We bone the whole lot. Like there's nothing in there we don't do ourselves.
You really have to take a interest in the meat, I guess, especially being a young fella going in there. And not only that, you'd have to have people skills because you're interacting with people all day, every day and sort of having an interest in knowing what they're talking about. I guess it's like anything if you go into car sales and that, you're not going to sell a car if you don't know what you're talking about. I know a lot of time that I come in there and I won't really know what I'm looking for or know really what I want, and they'll just go, oh yeah, we got this, we got that, and they know what they're talking about and what goes good with stuff so they can recommend it, which is a huge seller, I think.
And the energy behind that too to bring the customer in is half the battle.
I try and make a bit of fun with the boys. So like each morning we got to pick something in the window that we're going to sell for the day. You've got to really try and sell that product and, winner at the end of the day. Sometimes I'll go, right, I'll share you lunch tomorrow or something, that's just make it a bit of fun. So they're a bit keener in their job there. Yeah.
Bit of healthy competition between the staff.
Yeah.
So you're running Quality Meats at the moment. What was sort of the pathway that you took from, I suppose, when you first started to being to where you are now?
From when I first started the butcher shop, it was already established when I bought it, obviously. So it was sort of sitting there, already had a bit of clientele that. So that was in a bonus for me. Then I just had to work out my niche market of what I was going to sell to people, what the customers wanted, to change it and get that sort of line in there to make it successful how it is now, yeah.
And did you go straight from leaving where you started your apprenticeship to jumping straight into running that business?
No. So I done my apprenticeship, finished there, went to another butcher shop, done 12 months in there, Got a gig on the gas plant over on the island for 3 years.
Wasn't that good?
No. $3,000 a week to play hide and seek.
Yeah.
Done, I got a fair few tickets over there, poly welding, doggers, stuff like that. Then come back to butchering again, done 5 years, I think it was, at Tannum Meats. Worked for Brendan and Mel down there. It was pretty good. Learned some stuff there as well. Like every butcher shop I've worked in, I've learned something different and a different way to do something.
I think that's with everything. Like, it's a good point because you sort of got to take little bits from everyone to create your own niche.
Yeah.
I think if you're trying to be like someone or trying to be exactly like them, you'll never get further ahead in whatever you're doing.
No, that was what my old boss always said to me when I finished my trade. He said, go out there, remember what I taught you, but put your own little twist on it. Like it's, little things like that. And I've been told that twice now, like I've done. So when I finished at Tannum, I went belt splicing then, the mines with conveyors and that. And then wife wanted me home a bit more, be closer to the kids. And I was like, yeah, rightio. So we bought the shop and look where that's got me. So, yeah.
Yeah, bloody oath. And did you ever there's a lot of butchers that I see do a lot of on-farm sort of stuff. Did you ever dabble in that at all? Sort of just jumping around from places doing their own killers? Is that sort of part of the trade, I suppose?
Oh, it's not part of the trade, no. Like they've got to want to do it. Like out of all the apprentices I've put through now, Travis is the only one to sort of jump into that with me. I actually got out of it for a fair while and he's like, I want to, learn how to slaughter and stuff. I said, well, right, I will. So we've gone halves in a business now. So we got that set up on the side where we just go down, do farm kills. So he's, one of very few that do it.
Yeah, that's unreal. You got to love that sort of go-in young fellas that want to jump out and just keep going further and keep excelling. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, no, it made me proud. Like, I've trained this young fella, so it's pretty good for me as well at the end of the day.
What do you find the biggest key to having a successful business is?
Biggest key would be customer service. You've got to have good customer service. If you don't have that, you don't have the customers walking in the door. You've just got to have, politeness to them, greet them when they walk in the door. Can I help you? If they don't, I'm looking, okay, we'll come back in a minute.
The sales is a big thing. Like you can have the best product in the world, but if you don't know how to sell it, no good to anyone, is it?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And one thing I noticed like about your shop, you've always got a lot to offer. Especially like there's a lot of times I'll go in there, not even knowing what I'm looking for, just looking to see what I feel like for dinner that night and just to grab it. But there's not just like your standard.
Yeah.
So like you go to a supermarket, let's just say you've just got like your steaks, your mince, or your standard, you got your marinated stuff, you got your wheels and hot kebabs, like a whole range of stuff.
Yeah, no, look, it's something I thought about. We tried the gourmet side of things, fancy stuff, but be realistic. We're an old country town, so let's just sort of keep to the basics, but throw that little bit in there just to keep people interested that do want that little extra.
Yeah, because I find that too. If I'm in there window shopping in the butcher, like I'll go in, I'll get a couple of steaks, some chook, whatever, and then you see that little bit of something like, I'll try that one too. Give us half a kilo of that.
Yeah, and the biggest key to selling that stuff is put it right where the customer walks in and they see it straight away because that's what brings their eye to it. Like that's, what you want to sell the most of and your best-selling products, put right there because they'll just straight in, bang, done.
A lot that comes with, I suppose, with the trade and guys that are working in that industry. I know, known a couple of butchers in the past, but there's always a lot of injuries. I know a fella, he was cleaning out a sausage mincer and it accidentally flicked on and took half his hand away. It being like yourself and having a lot of apprentices and that, I guess especially with me, I don't know about you boys, but I always learned the hard way. Something happens, whether if I nick myself and I learn to be a little bit more careful next time. Do you get many of them?
Oh, definitely, mate. I had a pretty serious one only, what would it be, 4 or 5 months ago now, doing some work in there and, slipped up and knife straight in the artery. So that was a bit of a how you going moment. Couple of weeks off and bandaged up,
So what do you think got that? Was it just too complacent?
Yeah, complacency, just, rushing the job, trying to get too much done too quick. And if I had just slow down 2 minutes. And
your trade too is probably not one that you want to rush when you're playing with sharp tooling.
Yeah.
What's the old saying? Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Like 9 times out of 10, if you're getting yourself in a butcher shop, there's going to be serious or you're not getting that limb back because it's going, like, especially with the bandsaw. That's one I always touch on. The young fellas, I'm like, when you're getting to use this, always eyes on the job, don't talk to anyone. It's common sense, really.
Do you have like a blooding stage where they watch first, I guess, with the dangerous equipment and then you ease them into it?
Yeah. Yeah, so they'll sort of watch us on the bandsaw, how we use it, how your hands are positioned, and then I'll go, righto, you can chop some bones or something just to get the feel for it. And yeah.
You got your bandsaw ticket now, mate?
Yeah.
Off you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Give them a knife ticket, give them a bandsaw ticket.
And what about the young fellas? Do you find that they get many injuries or serious ones, or is it more just little nicks and that?
Just little ones, mate. Just, you know, they're pretty steady, so they don't really rush into it. It's sort of more when you get further into your trade where you get that bit of pace behind you and you start ripping into your work and where the accidents will happen.
With all that tooling and stuff that you've got, like your knives and that, do you sharpen them yourselves? Do you teach the young fellas how to sharpen their knives?
Yep.
Yeah. Is there a course or something that you sit down with them of an arvo and show them how to do it properly? Like,
yeah, so that's part of the trade is I think it's actually one of their first modules they have to do. So like with a butcher and apprenticeship, most other apprenticeships, you go away to TAFE.
Yep.
And, you know, you spend 3 weeks in TAFE. Well, butcher and the TAFE actually come to you. So like the TAFE bloke comes up to the shop here once every 3 months, I think it is, sits down with them. They've got their modules to do between when he's been last and gets there next. So yeah, like a knife one, they've got a module there. It sort of runs them through how to do it. And then I sit there and I show them for a couple of weeks, you know, get all their edges right and stuff like that. And yeah, a bit of a niche thing to have to learn. It's sort of getting your edges right's the hardest one.
When you're running through your knives and that, do you have is like a steel better than a stone, or is it steps? What's your...
Steel's more just to keep your edge on your knife. Steels don't actually sharpen them. So they're just there to keep the edge on the knife itself. The stone's obviously what you put your edge on there with. And then once it starts to get dull, give it a quick steel, keep working. Then once the steel's not working anymore, back on the stone it goes. So probably I do mine once or twice a week just for the amount of bodies and stuff we go through. So
yeah.
How many bodies are you going through actually?
We've died off at the moment just because coming into this time of year, it always does get a bit quiet period in the butcher shop. Everyone in town, I sort of know most of the butchers in town, they said they're feeling the same pinch at the moment. So at the moment we're dulled back down to about 3 at a time, but we were at one stage up at 8.
Okay.
So, and like that's with the Vowood beef. Like we're doing, you know, some bodies are 410 kilo animals hanging in the room. Like they're fairly heavy beasts.
And you just mentioned like Vowood, going down that path. Is that where you get your beef from? Because Vowood's a local station around here.
So he's 35k out of town here towards Billow. We get probably, I'd say 65% of our meat off of him. So it's been a little partnership, been in the growing for a long time now.
I love that support the local too. Like you're getting meat from the community.
Yeah. No, and he does a good job out there. Like it's not only what I do in the shop to make it the way it is. He's got to grow it out there and do the right thing by the animal out there to get it the way we do to get it into the final product.
There's always a big debate, I suppose, when you start talking about grain fed and grass fed.
Yeah.
And what do you find, being someone that working with it a lot, find the difference is amongst them two?
So grass fed's obviously way better flavour. Like always going to get a great flavoured grass fed beast.
Yeah.
I don't mind a bit more chewing, so I'm happy to have that grass fed that hasn't been finished on grain. You're not guaranteed it's going to be great, but you're going to get that flavour out of it. Where the grain, I believe it takes a bit of flavour out of the meat, like it makes it sort of a bit bland. You got to add flavour to it to get something. But then you're probably 90% guaranteed it's going to be a pretty tender beast if done right on the grain. Like there's a certain stages it's got to go through to get there.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. Like we do the Vowood, touching on that with that, we do like the grass fed, but we also now have started dabbling in a bit of grain assisted. So like we've got bins out in the paddock with the steers where they can just go have a little nibble, off they go and eat grass. So they're not just eating grain all day, but they have that there just to help them top up a little bit, especially now it's getting a bit dry out there. They need that little pickup just to keep the beef coming through. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to do it.
And do you find that still holds the flavour as well?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you can't taste the difference in it. It's just helping that animal keep that weight on that little bit better.
And going through a farmer like that and growing that relationship with them to sort of get your meat and that, is it pretty easy?
Yeah, look, we've got a pretty good understanding between the two of us. So I know he's got so many set aside in the paddock for me. I'll just get a bit low. I'll ring him and say, hey, mate, you know, let's book it in with the Meatworks. Let's do a run now. And, he's got them there set aside. He picks out a day that he can deliver them down there for me, and away we go.